Well, good morning, y'all. Chief Prepper here. It is 5 after 1 in the morning. So I got the break. I went up to Abilene and I went to the gun show. I found one of the items I was looking for and got it for a good price. It's a 1x12 LPOV illuminated Osprey scope. Comes with covers and mounts and all that stuff. And I even got it for the price that I paid for a year ago, which is $450. The guy started out $550, and then talked to him. He's an Afghanistan vet, and I got my Iraq vet hat on, and so he gave me a good price, and it's a brand new scope. Fought around the rest of the day. Basically got in riding from about 11:30. What's today? Monday. So I went up Saturday. I did not unload my bike. It was raining. I burned my fire pit Saturday night, Sunday night, so I didn't have to bring any wood back. So I rode all day Sunday after I went to the gun show, just farting around. Abilene is considered my hometown. That's where, excuse me, I'm tired. I graduated high school from way back, mid 80s. I've been back periodically over the years, and I went back last year, looked at land, and then I was supposed to go to the gun show on Sunday this trip, and then look at land today. And today didn't happen. I don't know what happened. The real estate agent I was working with, she was saying she was going to be ready and have some properties for me to look at, and I sent her a note saying I would be there late Saturday and be available to look at properties Monday, assuming because she's a church lady, as in she's a young woman, she goes to church, so I'm assuming she takes Sundays off. But I sent her an email Sunday saying I could look at properties, Sunday afternoon or Monday. I never got anything back, so hopefully nothing happened to her. So I got up today and had decided that whether I heard anything from her or not, if I didn't hear anything by noon, then I was going to pack up and leave. So there is a restaurant called Grump's Burgers. I really like it, and they have what's called a house jalapeno ketchup recipe. So I bought 2 bottles for me and 2 bottles for my friend. Hopefully, excuse me, they survived the trip, because I left them in the saddlebag on the trailer, and then so this is the important part of the video. The trip went well. I loaded the bike up after I got back today. Basically cleaned up my campsite, made sure that I wasn't leaving anything. Got on the road about between 3:40 and 4 p.m. Sent my wife a note saying I was leaving. Should be 5 to 6 hours. GPS pretty much consistently said I would be home around 8. I made it all the way from Abilene to Comfort, and I got gas just to be safe, and I didn't check the tire on the trailer. I didn't think I needed to, because I checked the tires before I left, and it was what I would consider a relatively short trip, even with a motorcycle on the trailer. It's like 267 miles, I think, to Abilene, and then of course the trip back, and about 50 miles from the house, basically 15 miles north of San Antonio. The tire blew on the trailer on the driver's side. Now, I knew from years ago, when I've had this trailer for years, and half of these problems are on myself, because I know better than the trailer with that damn spare tire underneath the trailer. So this particular trailer is called a Kindon Dual trailer. I can haul 2 motorcycles on it up to a certain amount of weight. It's torsion suspension, so you can actually safely tow with one bike on the trailer, and the trailer suspension adjusts so that it doesn't go all taco and funky when you're braking or when you're driving. Maybe the motorcycle was too heavy for one side, I don't know, because I've had this problem before, but it was with 2 motorcycles on the trailer, a dresser and a fat boy. So I know the trailer can handle the weight, but the tires that were on the trailer were right at 2 years old. So I had them changed in 2022 when I went up to Washington State. And those 2 tires are the same ones that are on it. Well, it was the same ones that were on it now. Went all the way to Washington State, all the way home, and maybe 10 trips hunting, and maybe 20 trips hunting. And the trailer is set for a year. I tightened the lugs. I did not grease the axles because there's the fitting you can do that on, but I checked the air pressure. The tires were holding pressure, so it blew. The spare tire was underneath. When I pulled over, I initially pulled over a little bit off the road, like in the grass, the right side of the vehicle and the trailer. And I couldn't do anything that I needed to do because I couldn't fit underneath the trailer to do what I needed to do to reach the lugs. So I pulled forward, jacked it back up. So I'm underneath a 2,000-pound trailer with a motorcycle on it, like right next to people doing 80, 85 miles an hour down the highway. I got my flashers on like I'm supposed to, and I'm under there trying to get the lug nuts off of the spare tire, and it's really hard, way harder than it's supposed to be. And in the process of doing that, I realized that the studs that the lug nuts are on that hold the spare tire under the trailer are bent. So I got them off, and after I realized they were bent because the spare tire wasn't coming off, I had a crescent wrench, but not a big enough one. I was trying to bend the stud back to where it needed to be enough to get the wheel off, and it wouldn't come off. So called my wife, told her what happened, told her it was going to be a late night. This is a bad night for it to happen. She's supposed to be up early in the morning, go to work, and she normally goes to bed by 9. We didn't get home from doing this until 11:30. I got home about 9:15 after unloading my bike, putting everything I was working with back in the van, locking everything up, leaving a note on it in case cops came by or a tow truck or something and was trying to tow it, saying that studs are bent. I live in the area, I run the plates. If you don't believe me, I'll be back soon. Offloaded my motorcycle, locked everything up, pulled the van forward off the road on the right side, not like way off, but off the road. Process of doing that, I also got a low tire pressure alarm on the van. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, one thing after another. I get home, my wife is sitting ready. I load up, I charge up my air compressor, load it into her Jeep. I wolf down 2 half slices of pizza, and then grabbed a drink, grabbed a hammer and a bigger crescent wrench, and we head back north. And then when we got there, I was just going to unhook the trailer and say fuck it and lock it up with a tongue lock and then come home. But I actually jacked up the trailer, got the blown tire off, and then disconnected the trailer in preparation to leave it, and then stood it up, and then I managed to get the spare off, put it back on, mounted the trailer back to the van, policed up all the tools, and then we came home and had to run with the flashers for the entire 50 miles. Cops didn't harass me, thankfully. So what's the moral of this story? I have tools, I have skills. I didn't have one fucking tool that I needed, and it hung me up for 3 hours. And I'm lucky because I was close to home. So remember what I said, be flexible with your prepping plans, be flexible with what you do, because shit is going to get in the way, all right? So it's very, very, very dangerous to be changing a tire on a vehicle on the side of the highway. So, and at least one time, I was lucky because because the tire blew on the side of the van and on the trailer that's closest to the moving traffic. At least one time somebody hit the rumble strips going right by the van. So if you don't know, one of the things that happens when cops have someone pulled over, and or when you're pulled over with your flashers on, people's eyes see that shit and they tend to drift and they hit people that are pulled over, and they hit cop cars that are pulled over. So be careful if it happens to you, all right? And then, I have an impact wrench. One of the things that I'm kicking myself is I knew I needed a 1/2 inch to 3/8 drive converter or gender bender for my impact wrench, because I had a 13/16 socket, but it did not have the gender bender. So even if I could have got the impact wrench on it, I couldn't put the socket on the impact wrench. So I'm going to fix that soon. And I'm also going to get a socket. So lesson learned. Keep a hammer. Keep high vis reflective something so that people can see you on the side of the road. Make sure you have warning triangles. Make sure you have your lights working. All right. So it's been a long damn day. Other than all of that headache and nightmare, trip went well. My wife pulled my fat out of the fucking fire again, and it cost her sleep. So anyway, information is knowledge and power. Live a little, prep a lot. Share love when you can. Keep prepper.